Hey guys, it's Heather from Kell Plan, and today we're doing a video that I'm super excited about, and I'm going to be calling it the Ultimate Planner Pen Test. I love pens. I feel like if you love planners, then you naturally love pens, and you love finding like the perfect pen for your planner. I am a big fan of the Papermate Flair. They're my favorite. It's mainly the only pen that I use in my planner. But I've been really inspired by all these people using different pens in their planners. And so I asked around for people's favorite pens. And these are the ones we're going to be testing today in different planners and notebooks. So we're going to test these in a Happy Notes from the Happy Planner and in the new deluxe notebooks from Erin Condren. We are also going to be testing these pens in a Happy Planner and an Erin Condren planner so that we can see how these pens write in all the papers. Okay, so the pens that we're going to be testing today, I will put all of the links to these in the description so that you can check them out and you can purchase the ones that you might be interested in for yourself. So the first pack we're going to look at, well, I don't know if it'll be the first that we look at, but one of the ones that we look at is going to be the Tombow drawing pens. They come in different sizes, different tips. So we have a 0.05, a 0.03, and a 0.01. I'm super excited to try these. I've never tried these before. These are fine liner pens from Amazon that are pretty cheap, but a lot of people recommended them to me, and so I'm super excited to try them out. I've heard that they're a lot like the Happy Planner pen, which this is a pen from the Happy Planner that you can find in some stores still have them. I couldn't find them in any of my local stores. This is one I just happen to still have, but I wanted to include it in the pen test as well. These are Muji pens. I think that's how you say it. These are the pens that if you follow Plan the Happies or Mom Run Craft, they both swear by these pens, and so I'm super excited to try those out. And then we have the Papermate InkJoy gel pens. I've tried these before and they're not my favorite, but I know that some of you people like swear by these pens, so I wanted to include them in the video. My personal favorite is the Papermate Flairs pens. Of course, I say these are my favorite, but I've never really, the only other pens that I've tried in this video are these and these. So I may find a new favorite, but currently, before we film this video, the Papermate Flairs is my favorite. And then I have the Erin Condren dual tip markers. I'm super excited to try these out. I'm hoping that they are similar, that they have a similar look and feel in my planner as the Papermate Flair. Since they are a marker pen, I'm hoping that they are similar to the Flair marker pen. And then we also have some Erin Condren gel pens that we're gonna try as well. I'm not sure what the tip is on these, but I'm super excited to try those out as well. So we have 8 different sets of pens that we're gonna be trying out on 4 different notebooks. So this could take a while, but I'm super excited to try these pens with you guys. So the first pens that we're going to try today are going to be the Tombow. Since I said that those were going to be the first ones, we're actually going to let them be the first ones. I've had these for a while, but I've never actually used them. So I'm super excited to try them out. Again, we're going to be doing this in Happy Planner notebooks and Erin Condren's notebooks. So I'm just going to go ahead and take this page off the disc. I love that I can take the note pages for the Happy Planner off. It's going to make it really easy. So let's start with, this is the 1.01 tip. So I'm probably just going to write my name. Oh, guys, this is a super fine tip, but I kind of love it. So that's the 0.1. This is the 0.03. So this is going to be a little bit of a thicker. It looks the same to me. Can't really. Ooh, this one's a lot thicker. This one is the 0.05. Again, I can't really tell that much of a difference in what it looks like on paper, but I could tell a difference when writing. I really liked this fine tip one, which is funny because normally I'm not a fine tip person. These are water-based pigment ink markers. They're for drawing, but I guess you can use them for writing too. When we flip it over, you can kind of see a little bit of shadowing. Not really bad, where when you put the paper down, you can't really notice it, but when you pick the paper up, you can see that the pen shadowed just a little bit, but not, it's not too bad. So over here, I'm just gonna write Tombow drawing pens to remind us which pens this was for. So now we're gonna try it in the Erin Condren notebook. These notebooks are fairly new, I believe. They're supposed to be awesome because they lay flat, which is cool. So this, let's go back in the same order. So we're gonna do the 0.01. I'm really interested to see what pens bleed through this paper. So that was the 0.01. This is the 0.03. And this is the point. I really like this one. Okay, let's turn the page and see. See, it shadows more on this notebook. You can see, I don't know if you can tell in the video. It may be hard to see, but you can kind of see where it's a little bit shadowing through. It's not too bad, but it does shadow a little bit. The Happy Planner paper, you can't really tell at all in the video. You can maybe see it a little bit right there. So that's interesting. So now I'm going to put the note paper over here, and now we are going to try it out in the planner. So this is an Erin Condren planner, and we're going to write that's the 0.01. This one's the 0.03. And this one is the 0.05. And we're gonna write Tombow drawing pen. All right, let's flip it over and see. I do like how they write on the paper. Again, this pen does shadow just a little bit. You can kind of see it through the paper just a little bit on the Erin Condren paper. Okay, so now let's try the Happy Planner paper and see what happens here. So we're gonna say Heather. I'll try not to write my name on every pen because I'm sure you are gonna be tired of seeing my name. All right. You can kind of see a slight shadow. I don't know if you can tell on the video. It's very slight. Okay. So I would say so far these pens did pretty well on the Happy Planner paper, both the note paper and the planner. You couldn't really see the pen bleeding through. But on the Erin Condren paper and both the planner and the notebook, you could see a little bit of a bleed through, or a shadowing, I guess is what they call it, a shadowing, with those pens. So those are the Tombow drawing pens. Next up, I feel like I should have like a mug or something to put these in as I'm done, but we'll just set them over here. The next pen that we're gonna try is these. I don't really know the brand. It looks like it's called I Buy 'em, but they are from Amazon. I'm just gonna pick a few of the colors. We're not gonna do them all. Maybe we'll do black, navy, and red. We'll just try a few of them because that would take forever if we did all 18. Okay, let's start with the Happy Planner. These have a super small tip. Let's see if it says what's a 0.38 super fine point. So this is a super fine point, but it's super similar. This striped one is the Happy Planner pen. It's super similar. It's like the same tip. Someone had told me that these were essentially the same pens, and I love the Happy Planner pens, so that's why I wanted to try these. So let's see. This is the navy one. I'm not sure if I like how they write on the paper, like the actual process of writing. They make a really loud noise, which is kind of funny. Can you hear it? All right. They don't have, they might have a little more of a shadow than the first pens, but you can't really see it. So those are I buy them on the Happy Planner. I'm not sure I liked how they wrote on the paper. But let's now try it on the Erin Condren notebook. I feel like they write smoother on this paper than the other notebook paper, but it could also be because this paper has a bunch of paper underneath it. And so it may be that that one felt harder because I was basically writing on the desk and not on a pile of paper. These are actually not my favorite, and I thought I would really like them because I really like the Happy Planner pens, but I'm not a big fan of these. Okay, so let's see what it looks like. Again, you can kind of see it shadowing through the page, just slightly. It's not a really bad shadow, but there is a shadow there, so I do want to point that out. So those are the notebooks. Now let's go to our planners. We'll do this one first. This is the Erin Condren planner. And I said I wasn't going to write my name, but I honestly kind of feel like it's best to just keep writing my name because then it's the same for every pen. I hate this red pen. I don't know why I chose red. I hate the color red. All right. So there's the pen. It's not as much of a shadow as the top, but you still can see it through the page. Okay. Now let's try the Happy Planner. All right, now I'm going to go ahead and stick these back in the case. Let's see. Again, you can barely, it's a slight shadow, but you cannot even see it on the video. So that is the Happy Planner paper with those pens. Those weren't my favorite pens. I didn't really like how they wrote on the paper, like how it felt. So since this pen looks super similar to the last pen, this is the Happy Planner pen, I'm going to go ahead and do this one next. Well, I was going to, but apparently my pen is so old that it is dried out. So we're not going to be able to test the Happy Planner pen, but it essentially writes just like these. Like I think it's the same exact pen. So let's go ahead and move on to the Muji pens. These are 0.55. I want to say that Michelle from Playing the Happies actually uses a Muji in an even smaller tip. I want to say she uses a 0.3, but I'm not positive on that. So these are 0.5, I think is what I said, which is slightly bigger than, this was a 0.38. So, ooh, I like the way it feels. Like this plastic, I like the way it feels. Okay. Oh yeah. This writes totally different. This is a gel ink, and it just glides like really well on the page. It's a super fine tip, which I'm not used to writing with because normally I use those Papermate Flairs, which have a marker tip, but I really like the way this writes on the paper. So we're gonna write Muji 0.5 pen. I would be surprised if this shadows on any of them. Yeah, you can't see it like at all. I love those. So those are the 0.5 Mujis on the Happy Planner note paper. Now let's try them in the Erin Condren notebook. Oh gosh. It writes like so smooth that you almost have to slow down because it just literally wants to like glide across the paper. So you do kind of want to like not write super fast. I do feel like this paper might cause these pens to smear. So I may run my finger over one of them to see. No, it doesn't smear. No smearage. That's good to know because it feels like it would smear. Muji 0.5. Okay, the first two pens did kind of shadow through the page in this notebook, so I'm interested to see. These kind of do too. You see how you can kind of, I know it's like very slight. It's very slight, but you can kind of see them through the notebook. It's not super bad. I don't think it would bother me like if I was writing in this notebook on a regular basis, but it does slightly shadow through. Okay, now let's try these pens in our planners. Again, it's like you can't, I keep forgetting, and I write that first H really fast, and then I realize, oh Heather, you can't write that fast with these pens. And I don't know if it's because the tip is so small that I feel like my handwriting doesn't look as cute with these. So I like them, but I don't know that I like my handwriting with them. Again, it's not gonna smear. And it has less of a shadow than the other two. I feel like up here, you can still see these, but the bottom, you can barely see. So these work, I think these, shadow-wise, are better in the Erin Condren planner than the first two. These shadowed more than this one in the Erin Condren. All right. Let's try the Happy Planner now. Blue. I do feel like these aren't slipping as much when I write faster on the Happy Planner pages. I felt like on the Erin Condren pages, I needed to slow down and write slower because I felt like I was just going to lose control because it was like the paper's really smooth and so the pen just was like sliding. But I feel like on this paper, I didn't have to slow down like that. So the Happy Planner, again, it has slight shadowing, but not bad. You can't even see it on the video, but in person I can see the top two pens, and then the Mujis I can like, you pretty much can't see it all. So you can see these two shadowing more than this one. Okay, so those are the Mujis in a 0.5 tip. I think they come in an even smaller tip if you love small tip pens. I bought this one because I loved all the different colors. So this one comes in navy, red, black, pink, orange, green, red, a darker green, and then a pretty blue. But I'm not trying out all the colors because that would take forever. So the next pens that we're going to try are the Papermate InkJoy gel pens. These are like, I've tried these before and they're not my favorite, but I know people who like swear by these pens. And so I was like, if I don't include them in this video, I'm going to have so many comments of, the Papermate InkJoy pens are my favorite. So I was like, I'm just going to go ahead and include them. Maybe I'll fall back in love with them. I never was in love with them, but all right. So they do, since they are a gel pen, they come with a little cover. So you just got to pop that off to get the ink flowing. Okay, now writing this right now. It's one reason that I like doing pen tests back to back like this is because you have the other pens like in your head. You remember how the other ones write because you just wrote with them. So in comparison to the other pens, I will say that I like these better. I think I like these, and then I thought I would love the Mujis, but I think I might actually like these more. I like that they are a thicker tip. These are a 0.7 tip, whereas this was a 0.5. So I like that it's a little bit of a thicker tip. I'm not a super small tip person. That might be why I like these better than the Mujis, which is surprising to me because I thought I would hate these. But I actually really, they're okay. I don't know that they're like my favorite. I think Papermate Flairs is still going to win that game. But you can see that it's like, especially here on the black, you can see that it's a thicker than the other ones. Shadowing wise, there's pretty much no shadowing coming through. Maybe a little bit, but not bad. None of these pens, it's like very slight for all of them on the Happy Planner note paper, which is nice. All right, let's try it in the Erin Condren notebook. I do like that it has the retractable pen. I really like this black one. I feel like it writes different than the blue and the red. If that's possible, I really like the black one. I don't like the red one, but I don't like red, so that's not surprising. Papermate InkJoy gel. All right, let's see if it's shadowed. Barely. I know it's probably hard to see. But you can see the black shadowing more than the other ones. The other ones you can't really see. Okay, so that is the Papermate InkJoy in the Erin Condren. So we've done it in the two notebooks. Now the paper, I know we're doing it in the notebooks and the planners, and the paper might be identical, but I still like just to see the differences in both. So it may seem repetitive, but I kind of like trying it in both the notebooks and the planners. It's the Ultimate Planner Pen Test. So of course I'm going to do both. I really like that black one. I really hate this red one. This red one feels like it's an even smaller tip. I don't know if that's possible, but that's how it feels. Paper Mate Ink Joy. Ooh, that's kind of shadowed a lot. It's interesting that I felt like the Erin Condren paper was thicker than the Happy Planner paper, but I feel like it shadows more, which is interesting to me. It's not what I expected. That would not have been my hypothesis. Let's see if it shadows on the Happy Planner. Gosh, this red one makes me want to cry every time. I need to quit writing in red. Paper Mate Ink Joy. Yeah, you can't really see it at all on the Happy Planner page. It's really interesting. I would have thought, because just touch-wise, it feels like the Erin Condren paper is nicer than the Happy Planner paper. But this pen test, because it's shadowing more in both the notebook and the planner, maybe I assumed wrong. Maybe the Happy Planner paper is better. Okay. These are my favorites, Paper Mate Flairs. I love them. There's also probably an easier way to open these than what I'm doing, but you know. These have a 0.7 tip, which I believe is the biggest tip that we've looked at today. So, this is a navy Paper Mate Flair. Oh, y'all, I just love Paper Mate Flairs. I love them. I love the thickness of them. I love how they write. I love how they look on the paper. I love how my handwriting looks with them. It's like true love. It's true love, you guys. So I'm just going to do 3 colors. There's no black in this pack. Man, I love Paper Mate Flairs. Okay, let's see. The shadowing, again, is about the same as the other pens. You can hardly see it on the Happy Planner paper. I love it. Okay, let's move these. I've never written with a Paper Mate Flair and an Erin Condren, so I act like I've written an Erin Condren thing so much. I think this is the first time I've ever written an Erin Condren paper. Y'all, I love Paper Mate Flairs. They're my favorite, and I think they will always be my favorite. All right, let's see if it shadows. Again, it's just interesting. You're probably watching this video like, Heather, I don't see the shadows. The Paper Mate Flairs do not shadow as much as the other pens. Like up here, you can still see where the Tombow, up here, you can see where the Tombow kind of came through. And you can see it a little bit, like you can see the blue right here. But it's not that bad. It's not that bad of a shadow. So those are the Paper Mate Flairs in the Erin Condren notebook. Now let's go to the Erin Condren planner and see what it looks like. Over here, Heather, how many times can you write your name during a pen test? Again, it's really interesting. I wish y'all could see this in person. I feel like the video, but you can still see all of these pens have shadowed. Not super bad. Like, this isn't so bad that I wouldn't use these pens in this planner, but they do shadow more. And the Papermate Flair might be the worst shadowing of all. This pen right here, the Muji, has the least amount of shadowing. All right, let's do the Happy Planner one. Heather. The Papermate Flair probably has the most shadowing out of any of them. I don't know if you can see it. There, I think you can kind of see it there. But you can also see the pins next. You can see the pins here too, which those were the I Buy 'em pins. So a little bit of shadowing, but not too bad. Plus, those are just my favorite. I just love Papermate Flairs. I don't know if I'll ever love any other pen more. Okay, so next we're going to try the colorful dual tip markers from Erin Condren. Let's do the purple. I kind of want to do like the darker colors. We'll do those three. These do have dual tips, so we're going to try both tips to see how they turn out. And I think I'm going to turn to the next page. So this is the smaller tip. This is the tip I'm most excited about because I think it'll be similar to a Papermate Flair. It is similar. I really like the way that writes. That's really cute. And then this is a thicker side. So this side is more definitely like a marker. This is more like a marker, and this is kind of like a Papermate Flair. So then we're going to do this. I really like the way the fine tip writes, like a lot. It reminds me a lot of a Papermate Flair. And then we have the marker side. Oh, we were supposed to do the Happy Planner paper first. Whoops. I got excited. Sorry, guys. We'll do the Happy Planner paper next. I don't like the light pink. I feel like you can barely see it. Although the marker is better. Okay. Here I'm going to write EC dual tip. I'm really interested to see if the marker like super shadows through. It's actually not that bad. It does shadow a little bit, you can see it, but compared to these, it's pretty much the same, maybe even better. I think these actually shadow less than all the other pens that we've seen so far in this notebook. So that's exciting. Now let's try them on the Happy Planner paper. I really like the fine tip side, like a lot. These are pretty awesome. Although I do think this pink one is an interesting color to make for a pen because it's really hard to see. All right, let's see how it's good. The Happy Planner note paper is good, you guys. It does not shadow like any of the pens. The Happy Planner note paper is legit. That is for sure. All right, let's try the Erin Condren planner now. I really like the fine tip side of these pens. The marker side, I'm just kind of like, it's like a marker. But the fine tip side reminds me a lot of Papermate Flairs. I love that. Sometimes when you write the same word over and over again, the word starts to look weird to you, and now that's starting to happen with my name. So that's an interesting concept. All right, let's see. So the marker, I don't know if you guys can tell, the marker tip shadows pretty well through, but the pen, the smaller side has a shadow comparable to the rest of the pens. So it is really interesting to me that all of the pens shadow a little bit on this paper, because like I said, I never would have thought that. So now let's try it on the Happy Planner. I'm interested to see if the marker shadows through the Happy Planner page, because I feel like most of the pens we've looked at today have done a pretty good job of not shadowing, but because it's more of a marker, that makes me wonder if it's going to shadow more than the other ones. I seriously love these a lot more than I thought I would. I think they come in a lot of colors. This pack that I'm playing with is called Sunrise, but they also sent me a pack, the same, but it's called Ocean, and it's got a bunch of blue tones to it, which is really cute. Okay, let's see. Again, the marker definitely shadows through more than any of the other pens. Again, I don't know if you can even tell in the video. It does, but the small side looks great. It looks great. Okay, so those are the Erin Condren dual tip markers. I'm not even gonna lie, I love them, and I may need to order the other colors because those are pretty amazing. Okay, so the last pen, we're almost done with our pen test, guys, is the Erin Condren gel pens that they sent. So I'm going to pull out 3 of these, and we're going to try these out. These have it does not say what size tip, but it looks to be pretty small. Oh gosh. Well, right off the bat, like this blue one, I don't know if I'm holding it wrong, but the blue ink does not want to come out. Maybe I need to I don't know. I don't like it. I don't like that. It is a super fine tip. The ink does not flow very well. Guys, are you supposed to squiggle these around for a little bit? Yikes, maybe I'm supposed to, let's try squiggling them around, getting them flowing. Okay, now let's see what happens. I'm going to try writing again next to the first, because that first one was not good. I don't like these. The purple's the best. The pink, at least the pink's flowing now. Super fine tip. They're not my favorite. Let's put EC. Look, they like don't write. I wonder if it's because there's no, like I'm trying to write straight from paper with the desk under. These aren't gonna shadow through because they hardly write at all. Ugh, I don't like that on that paper. Maybe it'll be better in the notebook. That's interesting that you can like, even with this paper on top, you can like see the writing through the paper. I don't know how I feel about that. All right, let's try these out. Maybe it'll be better on this paper. I don't like the way my handwriting looks with these either. But I feel like my handwriting looks like that because I'm having to like force the pens to even write. I don't like these. They almost feel like scratchy, like you're just trying to get the ink to come out. I don't know. They're not my favorite. These are probably my least favorite out of the ones that we're trying. Guys, they still even shadow a little bit. Even those. I don't know if you can tell. You can kind of see it right here. I don't like these gel pens. I really like the dual tip, but the gels are not doing it for me. Let's try it on this paper. Maybe it'll be okay. This one is actually writing better on there than it has on the other two. So I don't know if it's because I'm now using these for like the third time and the ink's finally like flowing, or if it's just that it writes better on the paper. Okay, but I do actually like these on this paper. Those actually wrote really well on this paper. So I don't know if it was a paper thing. It almost makes me want to try it again here. No, I still don't like the way it writes on this paper, but this paper, it wrote really well. So maybe it's just based on the paper. And it barely bleeds through. But you can see shadows through. Sorry, that's not bleeding. That's a shadow. So, okay, let's try it on the Happy Planner paper because I don't like it on the Happy Planner notebook paper, like at all. So I wonder if it'll be the same. What is up with these pens? They like, seriously, okay, I'm going to say if you use a Happy Planner, these pens do not like the Happy Planner paper. They just don't. They're not writing right on them. Okay, so that's the Happy Planner. And again, no shadow. So really the only thing that shadowed on the Happy Planner paper was the marker tips. So, and these are the designer gel pens. This is the Brights pack. I wonder, maybe that's why, because it's like bright colors and not regular colors. I don't know. These were my least favorite out of the pen test. So now that our pen test is over, we have the two planners, the note paper, and the note paper. So now that these are over, I think my favorite pen is still going to be the Papermate Flair. My second favorite pen is going to be the fine tip of the Erin Condren dual tip markers. So favorite, second favorite. And then my third favorite is probably the Tombow drawing pens. I really enjoyed testing all these pens out. I hope you enjoyed seeing them. I also really, this notebook, I love that it does lay flat. That's a really cool concept of how it just lays flat. These are new from Erin Condren. The graph paper is bigger than the graph paper you might see in the Happy Planner. It does a lot of things shadow through, so it's almost like the paper, but it's not so bad that you couldn't still write on the back. So I do like it. They come in lots of different colors. I think they sent me a red one, a yellow one, a purple one. But I do like the paper in the Happy Planner better. So just throwing that out there. So this was our ultimate pen test. I hope you enjoyed it. I'd love to hear in the comments if you use any of these pens, and if you do, which one is your favorite. And yeah, I hope you enjoyed it. So if you like this video, I hope you hit the like button. If you want to buy any of these pens, the links will be in the description, so check that out. If you want to see more of my videos, hit the subscribe button, and happy planning!